ask him to please stand for recognition. I think you came in and everybody kind of gave you a clap already. But thank you so much for coming. And
I want to say thank you for allowing me to come out here, and I look forward to hearing the debate. I will have to leave a little bit early because I have kid duty this evening. But I look forward to hearing what the students have prepared, and thank you all for the wonderful service that the District Club does for Sarasota. I'm with the law firm of Matthews Eastmore here in Sarasota. We've been around for years, and thank you guys.
He's a graduate of Duke University. He played football there, and he's a coach, and he's a mentor, and he's just a great human being.
I'm a Booker High graduate too, guys.
All right. We all live near or in Sarasota in the year of our Lord, 2016, and it's had a huge impact on all of us, on what we do and what we see and how we think. Florida was the name given our state by Ponce de Leon in 1513, and it means flowering land. We were the first territory visited by the Europeans, and St. Augustine's is the oldest continuously inhabited established settlement in the continental United States. So if you haven't visited St. Augustine, I suggest you try to do this. We are surrounded by salt water, which has 36 parts per thousand of salinity, and by farmland and by cattle. During the Civil War, Florida became a chief supplier of cattle to the Confederacy, both for meat and for leather. We have exotic fruit trees, we have snakes. Florida is home to 46 species of native snakes, and only 6 of them are venomous, which is just nice to know. Alligators are more common here than crocodiles. We have manatees, ibis, eagles, and dolphins. It's almost as if we live in a jungle, except for the fact that it's so hot and humid outside. We go from an air-conditioned home to an air-conditioned car to an air-conditioned mall, and unless we bike or walk or play tennis, golf or swim, we aren't outdoors too often. Because it's hot and humid, I think we're healthy. We glisten from perspiration, which eliminates toxins, and we drink a lot of water, which keeps us hydrated. However, we also get all kinds of skin problems from the sun, and must be mindful to wear hats and sunscreen because melanoma is a strange and dangerous bedfellow. We don't live in crowded quarters like many people who live in the Northeast. We are more like Westerners, and we are Southerners. We don't speak with a drawl, but we understand a drawl. We speak much slower than those who live in New York. We don't take taxis to and from the grocery store, and neither do we ride in limousines. Most of us live in a private home or a condominium or a gated community. For most of us, when we travel, we stay within Florida. We are the second home for Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and for many people from Michigan, Ohio, New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Our land is very flat, and you don't need a 3-speed bike to pedal around here. Florida has the 3rd largest population of the 50 states. We are quite possibly the most eclectic of all the states, with the exception of California. We have 1,300 miles of coastline, the most of any state within the contiguous 48 states. We're situated closer to communist Cuba than any other state. We have absolutely beautiful beaches, and I can't get over the sunrises and the sunsets. We have a lot of senior citizens, many of whom came from up north to double our population during the winter months, and these northerners have recently been able to sell their home and move down here permanently. This increase in our population brings many economic benefits. The census records are taken every 10 years, and they're used as the database for distributing taxes back to the community. Our largest population is aged 45 to 49, and our Hispanic or Latino population comprises 22%. There are more Cubans than Puerto Ricans and Mexicans in Florida. This is no surprise if you visited Miami. Of the 18,000 total in Florida, there are nearly 4,000 Hispanics. Next month, we have Colonel Mike McAllister speaking to us. He's speaking on America, One Nation Under God. Mike ran for the Florida State Senate in 2012, and we had most every senatorial candidate come present their platform. Mike's campaign manager was Senior Chief Jeff Ross, who spoke with us just last month. Mike isn't running for an office now, but he is an unapologetic conservative with 33 years in the military. He is an entrepreneur, an agribusiness professional, and a college instructor who earned his doctorate degree. The Sarasota Patriots started on the tennis courts and migrated here as immigrants together on a new path with each other. We don't need a no-go zone, we need a welcome sign. We don't need a high five, we need conversation and each other. We don't want much, we want harmony and truthfulness. We want for America to be a red, white, and blue country, flying our flag with pride. So at this time, if you would stand, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag, and only as the Sarasota Patriots say, I am an American, and I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing the team of Dr. Steve Gafanti and his wife, Maureen Gafanti, to all of you. I met Steve shortly after he arrived in Florida from the San Diego area of California, where he was an inspiring, sought-after speaker. He is also a successful medical doctor, author, and a happily married husband and homeschooling dad. He discovered the Sarasota Patriots and started attending our meetings shortly after moving here, rather recently. One of Stephen Gafanti's favorite messages is this: your child may never be normal, but he can be extraordinary. Not only is Stephen a physician, he's also dyslexic and has ADHD. And from this unusual perspective, he brings hope and understanding to families. Born with a passion for education as well as medicine, he has served as the medical director of a clinic specializing in learning disorders and the study of nutrition and its effect on learning. Steve graduated from the University of Idaho Carver College. And he did an internship at the University of Southern California Medical Center. We're fortunate to have him practicing medicine here in Sarasota. Maureen, his wife, is an educator and a faith-based person with a talent for painting, and she takes mighty good care of Steve and their daughter, who remains in California. So at this time, I would like Maureen to give us a prayer, and then I will introduce Steve, who will introduce our event for the evening. So, Maureen, it's all yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Please bow your head and join me in prayer if you wish. Dear Lord, thank you that you are our wonderful counselor, our source of joy, our rock and refuge. Thank you for all our blessings, our lives, our health, the freedom we have to gather here, the freedom to worship you. Bless these students, their families, the coaches and teachers, and all the people attending. And Lord, I pray for revival, that our nation, birthed with our government set on your shoulders, would turn back to you, that our freedoms, including to exercise our worship, would be protected and restored. And finally, Lord, I pray your blessing on this meeting tonight. Guide what is said, pour out your wisdom, insight, and discernment here. And Lord, whether it's here, facing the challenges of debating, or anywhere in our lives, I pray that you would help us to see what you are doing so we can join with you for your glory. Thank you for all that you are doing and will do. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Maureen. Stephen approached me back in October, believe it or not, with this idea of having students, young high school age students, come forward with a debate on a topic that he thought would be not only educational but entertaining and challenging. And so I am turning over the microphone to Steve because he set this up and he knows exactly what needs to be said, right?
Just a little bit about me. I used to be on a school board, a public school back in California. And every once in a while, the teacher would make the mistake of inviting me to talk to their class about history. And I would start with a piece from The Patriot, because Patriot's one of my favorite movies, in which Mel Gibson says, "Are we capable of self-government? I think we are, and I think we should." And I would then turn to the audience, who were high school kids, mostly juniors and seniors, and say, "What do you think? Are we capable of self-government?" But never have I had the opportunity to have such bright minds, so many of them prepared to debate this issue. So I'm going to turn this over to this gentleman here, and he's going to introduce himself. We'll work that way.
Hi, my name is Charles Karcher. I'm a sophomore at Sarasota High School, and I want to say thank you to everyone for inviting us out here tonight. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to a great debate.
Hi, my name is Ashley Nguyen from Sarasota High School. I'm a senior, and I'm the captain of the Sarasota High School debate team. I'm really excited to be here and to be presented with this opportunity, and I feel like we're going to have a great time.
I'm Ryan Mosbach. I'm a senior at Booker High School, and I'd just like to say thank you again to everybody for letting us be here and do this.
Hi, my name is Shane Rutherford. I'm also a senior at Booker High School, and Ryan and I are both in the Law Academy there, and I also want to say thank you for letting us come here and have this opportunity. Can you slide me back up here?
Yes, it slides back.
Oh, that's cool.
Just here? Yes.
You going to start?
I thought we should introduce the coaches of these two teams.
Oh, that'd be
Yes,
nice.
so I'd like to introduce Mrs. Dr. Terry St. John. Terry, that's me. And Tad, would you pronounce your last name for me?
Twenstrup.
Chad.
Chad Twenstrup. Twenstrup.
Twenstrup. It's spelled in an unusual way. Thank you for that. We used to call him Mr. T, and I can understand that.
Mr. T.
All right, so are we ready to begin? All right, you're in charge. All right.
So it has been resolved here today that people are in fact capable of self-government. We on the pro side feel that is precisely correct. People are in fact capable of self-government for these two claims. Firstly, democracy exists. Therefore, people are capable of self-government. And secondly, people are capable of making their own decisions. And therefore, people are capable of self-government. So first I'm going to go into the first claim by giving you a definition of what self-government is. So self-government is the control of a country or area by the people who live there. And that's according to Cambridge Dictionary. And a second definition of what self-government is, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, government or control of a country by a group by its own members. So there we have a definition of self-government. Now I'd just like to define what exactly democracy is for you, if you don't already know. So democracy, according to the same dictionaries, is a government by the people, a form of government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them, or by the elected agents under a free electoral system. And so, therefore, it's obvious to us that the definitions of self-government and democracy are synonymous. These are synonyms, democracy and self-government. And we can see that democracy does in fact exist in the United States today. as Mr. Lincoln said, the United States is a government by the people, of the people, and for the people in the Gettysburg Address. And we can see in the United States Constitution that in Article 1, concerning the election of representatives and senators, that the people of the United States would vote for those representatives and senators. Based on the definition of democracy, we conclude that because this is a democracy, and it does in fact exist here today in America, that people are capable of self-government, and they are in fact exercising the principles of democracy and self-government here today. And we can also see that in statistics such as those of United States voter turnout in 2012, which was 53% out of 12 million voters. So we can see that people are in fact exercising that right, and they are capable because they are voting. It's not that, and it's not to say that those other 47% of people aren't capable of self-government. They in fact are capable. The capability is there for those people. Also because 83% of the population is registered to vote. 83% of those who are eligible to vote and are over the age of 18 are registered to vote. So people have the capability to exercise self-government. People are capable of self-government here in the United States, even if they do not take advantage of it. That's not to say that they aren't still capable of self-government. And secondly, I'd like to point out that people are capable of making their own decisions. We can see that because when we go to any restaurant, we make a decision about what we're going to eat at that restaurant. We pick up our kids, we can go decide who's going to do that for us. And based on those personal experiences, we can see that people are in fact capable of making their own decisions, which is part of the definition of self-government.
Ashley and I stand in negation of the result that people are capable of self-government. The Cambridge English Dictionary defines self-government as the control of a country or an area by the people living there, or the control of an organization by a group of people independent of a central or local government. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines capable as skilled at doing something or able to do something well. This definition is important because capability is not just the ability to achieve self-government, but the ability to achieve self-government and make it effective. The first reason that Ashley and I negate is because self-governments are not accountable enough to constitute a successful government. We observe that the purpose of governance, whether self-government or federal government, big or small, should be valued as protecting individuals and their freedoms. Alex Toughness writes in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy that John Locke used the claim that men are naturally free and equal as part of the justification for understanding legitimate political government as the result of a social contract where people in the state of nature conditionally transfer some of their rights to the government in order to better ensure the stable, comfortable enjoyment of their lives, liberty, and property. Governments exist by the consent of the people in order to protect their rights, and the people should promote the public good. One prominent example of self-government failing is in British Columbia, when self-governments were created to give natives independence. The British Columbia Treaty Commission explains, "There is no template for self-government. Each First Nation establishes their own unique self-government arrangement. Self-government provisions may include education, healthcare, police services, housing, and property rights. The problem with this is none of these basic needs are mandated because self-governments have no outside influence. This is also true because self-governments can't sufficiently protect their citizens. Paul Cleveland of The Independent explains in 2012 that the accounts of ancient civilizations that developed among the Nile and Mesopotamian river valleys point to the need that these communities had to turn away from self-government to protect themselves from the aggression of other tribes of people who might descend upon their village for the purpose of plundering their wealth. For this reason, they banded together and developed strategies for defense. In the end, there's either no guarantee of a true government because of lack of mandating of important policies, or the trueness of self-government is gone. The second reason we affirm is because there is a declining commitment to government among people. In recent decades, the commitment that many citizens have had to democracy has decreased. This commitment is crucial to the capability of self-government, because if we are not able to participate in government when other people govern us, how are we supposed to govern ourselves? Empirically, the Pew Research Center finds on March 8th of this year that only 17.3% of Republicans and 11.7% of Democrats that are able to vote in America have turned out for the primaries and caucuses of this election cycle. The reason behind this is found by Alan J. Lichman of The Hill, who explains in August of 2014 that ordinary Americans have virtually no impact whatsoever on the making of national policy in our country. Globally, the International Foundation for Electoral Systems finds that the global average of voter turnout for legislative elections is only 63% worldwide. With no incentive to vote, democratic participation is gone, meaning that people are not responsible enough or educated enough politically to live a life without a government. In fact, Paul David Miller writes in The Federalist in December of 2013 that people must believe that they have the right, duty, and ability to govern themselves. If they stop believing these things, self-government is effectively dead, even if the rituals are still observed. He furthers, the essence of self-government is in the participation of the people of the whole self of the people, not the smallest portion large enough to seize power by the force of numbers. So because self-governments are simply not accountable enough to constitute an actual government, and because there is a declining commitment to government worldwide, Ashley and I stand in negation. Thank you.
So first question is, how does capability equate to effectiveness?